What's up guys, today we're going to be having a look at the Trintec Copilot Chrono watch. Now this is a watch by a company that is probably better known for making wall clocks than it is for making wristwatches. However, they do have quite a few interesting wristwatches, and I think this is the one that caught my eye the most, and that's mainly due to the touches of color that it has within the watch that stops it from being just a boring looking chrono, and it kind of jazzes it up a bit. So I really like the aesthetic. I really like how the black and the white plays with that orange and yellow. Now this is a 43mm diameter. It has 22mm lugs, and it is 15mm thick and 120 grams heavy. So it's not the smallest watch in the world. It is quite substantial. You'll definitely know you're wearing it, but I think that it fits perfectly well with the whole aesthetic of it being kind of a work watch, kind of a military-esque looking watch. Now this watch is a 316L stainless steel, and it has a PVD coating. Typically I don't like PVD coated watches because it has the same problem as gold plated watches, which is that with very little use it tends to get scratched, and then you're left with a really ugly looking watch. However, that doesn't seem to be the case. As you can see, there's not a single scratch on the body or bezel of this watch, and I've been wearing this pretty frequently for the past 3 months, so I think it's safe to say that the sandblasting technique that Trintec has used on this piece is effective, and that it's not going to be scratching easily, or at least not anytime soon with the way I'm wearing it. However, of course, if you're using this and getting up to all kinds of crazy things, that may vary. Now, the bezel is really good. It's 120 click unidirectional bezel. Very little play, as you can see. Very solid on every click. It's a very nice bezel to use. It feels secure. It feels solid. It feels like it should on a watch that is going for this very tactical look, as is the case with this Copilot. Now, it does have a Japanese luminova both on the dial and the hands. It's not the strongest one you'll ever see. It's definitely not comparable to, say, a Seiko, for example, but most watches aren't. However, the case with the luminova on this watch, I've got it to last about an hour and a half at what I'd consider to be above 70% power, and then it'll probably shine bright enough for you to be able to more or less tell the time for a full night. Now, one thing that I probably would have changed about this watch is the fact that the case back is in stainless steel but without the PVD coating. I just don't like having case backs that are a different color to the body of the watch. I think it doesn't work, but that's just my opinion. At the end of the day, you're not really going to be looking at the case back of the watch that often anyways. It's just a personal gripe I have with this watch. As you can see, there's no stamping or no signing on the crown. It is a screw down crown. The actuations on the chronograph buttons are good, solid, no problems there. And as you can see, the case shape isn't really that interesting. There's not really much to it. There's not really any leveling to speak of. There you have the case back with the Copilot logo, which I do find to be quite good looking. However, as I said, I would have much preferred to have the case back in the same PVD coating as the whole body of the watch. It does have, obviously, as you can see, a screw down case back, and it's water resistant to 100 meters. Now, the movement is just your run-of-the-mill Miyota movement, quartz movement. Obviously, there's not necessarily anything wrong with that. The one thing that I'd probably mention about this watch is that at the moment it's sitting at $399, and personally for that price I think it's maybe a bit too expensive. Also, there you can see the screw-in pins for changing the straps. Now this is another issue I had, because I don't know if you'll be able to pick it up, but I almost scratched all the paint off the screws trying to change the strap, and that is due to them obviously being PVD coated. I would just much rather just have normal pins without the screws. I think that adding screws is just asking for scratches on those screws, because it's really hard to try and unscrew these tiny little things without scratching them in any way. So as you can see, I pretty much gave up after a couple of attempts, and it also doesn't help that they really seem to be in there. I mean, I don't know if they use Loctite or something, but they seem to be very, very tight and quite hard to take out. So I just gave up on that, and I'm going to keep it on these straps for the time being. There's nothing wrong with the straps besides the fact that they're too long. I mean, the rubber straps I came with are way too long. I've got 7-inch wrists, and it's just probably 1.5 inches too long, and I think you'll be able to see that in this video. It does have a sapphire crystal with an anti-reflective coating, which does the job, no problem there. As you can see, the chronograph function, I've not set it properly yet, but you can see it works with no problem, and it's quite fast with the flyback to reset itself. Now, I mean, at the end of the day, this is a good looking watch. It's well built, it feels solid, it's quite robust. It's got everything you'd want in a watch at this price point. However, does it have more than some other alternatives, mainly by companies like Seiko, that you can pick up for the same price? Well, that's up to you at the end of the day. Maybe if this watch was even just $60 cheaper, then I could recommend it easier, but as it is, it's a good piece. I'm happy having it in my collection, maybe just a tiny bit overpriced. I hope you enjoyed the video. Till the next time, guys, peace.